Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to every single one of you out there watching this video. Welcome to today's gaming news. So, let's get started with... Grab a hold of your seat as rumors continue to heat up about Nintendo's next console. Undoubtedly, the Switch has been a record-breaking console, but after more than 5 years on the market, it's time for it to retire. Last week, I spoke about this. It's supposedly rumor about the next Switch, what we'll call the Switch 2 for the time being, which, according to the rumors, was to be showcased in private during Gamescom. Since it was private, no one had come forward to talk about it. However, recent news has started to rise, the possibility of a brand new announcement on the console. Everything has started from Eurogamer, which spoke about Nintendo bringing a demo of Switch 2 to developers at Gamescom. Some time after that, BGC has also confirmed with their own sources that a Switch 2 has been demoed during Gamescom. Followed by that demoed, it was also mentioned the possible release, and we could expect it, not the release of the console, but the announcement. It's gonna be for 2024. You might be thinking, what was showing during this demo? Well, I got some details. According to BGC source, it's claimed that Nintendo presented the Switch 2 running the impressive The Matrix Awakens on Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. For those that don't know, this game has been used previously to showcase the power of both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So this new console packs a punch and crosses that barrier into the power of the newer generation of consoles, even more powerful than the little one Xbox Series S. While Nintendo has yet to officially confirm the existence of a new console announcement, from the multiple gaming websites and sources, it looks like Nintendo is gearing up for a big reveal coming up next year. Now, aside from the big Gamescom demo reveal, there are other leaks running around that highlight the potential and possible capabilities of the console. According to those leaks, some suggest that the console will be able to feature camera functions like AR or VR. Also, and this is the big one, especially since in the past Nintendo has never done anything about backward compatible games, especially thank you to a viewer that pointed that to me. So to hear from the leaks that it is rumored that the Switch 2 might have backward compatible software while also maintaining a new cartridge format are quite wild. So once more news comes out about this, I'll be covering them in the next video. Reported early Friday morning, Epic Games CEO Donald Mosser announced he will be stepping down from his position as well as leaving the company. Mosser announced the news on his social media accounts, saying, "After an incredible adventure, I'll be retiring from a role as Chief Creative Officer at Epic this month. I have enjoyed nearly 25 years in the game industry collaborating with some of the most talented people ever. I'm so proud of what we have made together. I'm especially proud of the opportunity I've had to create and shape Fortnite." To Donald Mosser that has left a legacy, especially with Fortnite, best of wishes to him into his next adventure. Now, for fans of horror and especially Alone in the Dark, I got some bad news. What seemed to be a packed October full of releases now has one less game. THQ Nordic has delayed the reboot until next year. The announcement was published during the week in the game's social media accounts. From October 23, the game is being moved to January 2024. The reason behind this push, according to the studio, is because to ensure a breathtaking experience for everyone, we have made the decision to move the release of Alone in the Dark to January 16, 2024. Though it is bad news, it could also be a good thing, considering the lineup for that month is overwhelming, and the game could be overshadowed by others like Alan Wake, so this could be a potentially very, very good decision. Either way, we want them to work on the game if it's necessary to work on the game, so let us wait until next year. Many video games have found success in other art forms, either through TV shows or movies, and this year has been a good example of that. Annapurna Interactive has seen the potential of this and has decided to bring one of their games into the bigger screen. Since its big success from last year, Stray has been catapulted into becoming an animated movie. In a statement from Robert Bard of Annapurna Animation, he revealed some details about the movie. This is a game that's all about what makes us human. There are no humans in it. It's a buddy comedy about a cat and a robot, and there's such a hilarious dynamic. So there's comedy inherent in this, but there's not one human being in this movie. I think it's one of the reasons why the game was incredibly popular, that you are seeing the world through the point of view of an adorable cat. Now we just have to wait for the release date of the movie, which is probably going to be far, far away from this because they are just announcing they're going to start working on the animation. The movie adaptation. So I'm sure no matter what, the quality of the movie, it's gonna be watched by millions. Probably a lot of people. Because either the memes or just having enjoyed the game when it came out. Either way, this is gonna be a very interesting development. Now for some small updates on gaming news around Xbox. First, last week was the global release for Starfield, and the game broke a couple of records, some of them being the most played game from Bethesda. Yeah, the game has surpassed Skyrim and Fallout with a whopping 6 million players in the first 24 hours. Incredible. Previously, it had been announced by Phil Spencer the game had reached 1 million in the first hours. And that number's very, very fast and very quickly got thrown into the waters because later that day it went into the 6 millions. While the game has received success within the gaming community, the controversy continues as well as the console wars discourse. This present on Metacritic as hundreds of reviews have surfaced with scores lower than a 1, with the reason behind it because it's a Microsoft game. My god, amazing how grown men can fight because of a plastic box. Oh, what world we live in. Now my question to you, are you playing Starfield? What do you think of it? Only part of you playing it and enjoying it? It is my first Bethesda game, don't judge me, and so far it has been a cool experience. Slowly as I dive more into it, I get to experience some interesting stories as well as enjoying my time taking pictures of outer space. Now while this game is finding success, there's still Redfall. Yeah, remember that game that came out in May? You probably didn't, and most likely it's gonna be forgotten as more time passes by, though not everybody thinks this way. Pete Hines, Bethesda Senior Vice President, says Redfall will be good eventually. I'm sorry, but unless the game gets a complete 180 flip, there's no way that a game can become something better than what it is now. Now, for it to do that 180 flip, it's going to demand quite some manpower and money, both things expensive. Still, Hines is hopeful. He said this during an interview with GameIndustry.biz, where he said, "Okay, we didn't get the star we wanted, but it's still a fun game, and we're going to keep working on it. We are going to do 60 frames per second. We're going to get it to be a good game because we know, as a first-party studio, Game Pass lives forever. There will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass, and Redfall will be there." Okay, Mr. Hines. Now, yes, work on the 60 frames per second, but I assure you that's not the problem of the game. I agree. Redfall will be on Game Pass, true. It is part of the Xbox Studios. But is anybody even gonna play it? Most likely no one. Unless, of course, and could be possible, I won't discredit of doing it, the game could turn out like No Man's Sky did. To No Man's Sky's credit, it launched in much better conditions than Redfall. Only time is gonna tell us if Redfall will come out of the ashes and become the phoenix it was supposed to be. I don't expect that, but if anybody does, join the Pete Hines bandwagon. Now, while Redfall looms in the end of existence, about to be eaten by Goliath, on the other side we got Ratatan. To give some context, this game is said to be the spiritual successor of Petapon, a 2007 strategy and rhythm game, where the player acts as an invisible deity to a tribe of eyeballs. You command them to move forward, attack, defend, and retreat through a series of sections varying between combat and puzzles. I know it kind of sounds like Pikmin, but it's a little bit different. Now, Ratatan is said to be the spiritual successor of Patapon, and it seems to have found incredible success. The developers behind the game placed a Kickstarter campaign, and within an hour of launch, the game gathered a total of $1,300. Their initial goal was to gather around $150. So in an hour, they reached their intended goal. However, fans excited for the potential of the game continued to pour more money into the Kickstarter campaign. By the end of the campaign, it raised 10 times more than the goal. The title hit $1.5 million. This amount helped them hit multiple project stretch goals. Some of these goals were to develop a version for console, because originally it was just going to be for PC, bring a collaboration with David Wise, former composer of the music for Donkey Kong Country series, and many more. The developers share their enthusiasm on the FAQ, as well as announce an expected date for the release of the game, April 2025. So we're still quite a few years away from this. Now, to finish off the video, one last piece of news. However, when it comes to Skull and Bones, it's always bad news. Well, Ubisoft Singapore faces an organized labor campaign which have creative development problems to the already long-running difficulties this game has been a part of. We can add another one. According to Kotaku, creative director Elizabeth Pellin has abandoned ship. Unlike the captives of the Titanic, she is not gonna wait for the iceberg to hit. Instead of staying with the project, Ubisoft Singapore, it's said that she has gone back to Ubisoft Paris to work in other projects. From Kotaku sources, 5 years ago, Elizabeth Pellin went to Ubisoft Singapore with a mission to reboot the creative direction of Skull and Bones. She succeeded, and the Skull and Bones team is now fulfilling her vision to deliver a unique naval action RPG experience to our players. Okay, whoever Ubisoft source this is coming to Kotaku, let's see if this is true. Let's see if she succeeded into bringing the vision. I mean, we don't even know what her vision is, because it could be that her vision is actually what some players have been able to test out in the betas that just passed by in August. It could be that, but let's see if the game can deliver. But to be honest, at this point, this game, just getting it out of development hell will be the achievement on itself. But that's all for this episode. What are your thoughts on this gaming news? Let me know in the comment section. I'm the Honey Badger, and I love to talk about everything gaming, from news to games. If you liked the video, remember to leave a like and share. It really helps. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Keep on gaming.